Hey guys, Preston here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be breaking down all the college football bowl games. I'm going to give my predictions for each of them. So this is just the CBS Sports Bowl Pick'em. I figure it's the best way just to go through them. I'm sure some I'll talk about more than others. For example, Buffalo and Charlotte, I won't talk a lot about. Because, there's plenty of small schools, plenty of teams I haven't followed too much this season. But we'll just go through it all. Buffalo's favored by 5. Majority of the people have picked them, but I don't focus on that too much. But yeah, I do think Buffalo's the better team overall. I mean, Charlotte's getting better. They're on the up and up, but I think the MAC is a slightly stronger conference than the CUSA, so I'm going to go with Buffalo. Utah State versus Kent State. I'm thoroughly surprised that Kent State made a bowl game. I mean, good for them. They've been in the cellar for a while. But that being said, I think in Jordan Love's last game with Utah State, he's just gonna make a statement and beat up Kent if he plays. Hopefully he plays. If he doesn't play, that changes everything. Then that pick is basically void. Either way, Central Michigan versus San Diego State. Central Michigan was in the MAC title game this year. Just couldn't pull it off, but yeah, I think the Mountain West is generally better than the MAC, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with San Diego State here. Liberty versus Georgia Southern. Liberty's really new to the FCS, and Georgia Southern is a Sun Belt team, which never does that good. You know what? I'm gonna take the underdog here, just because every now and then you gotta pick a couple underdogs, right? None of these bowl games are. It's almost impossible that every team favored will win the bowl games this year. SMU, Florida Atlantic, it's definitely going to be SMU because Florida Atlantic, they blew out UAB in their championship game, but Lane Kiffin has left the program and he will not coach that matchup, so I doubt they'd win. Oh, it's like I want to see the times these all start. Okay, so bowl season starts December 20th. That's nice. Just need to see some of these times. I'm sorry, guys. I try to watch as many of these as I can, so I'm kind of curious because I haven't seen the full schedule yet either. FIU, Arkansas State. That one's a bit interesting. You got Butch Davis versus, I can't remember the Arkansas State coach's name. I mean, Arkansas State's a Sun Belt team. The Sun Belt's generally pretty rough. They are favored in this game, though. Most people tend to be putting their vote towards Arkansas State, and I'm not sure if that's just because their record is slightly better. But, FIU beat Miami, and hopefully they can beat Arkansas State. I'm going FIU. Although I'm rooting for Arkansas State, honestly, probably. Boise, Washington. Washington's been kind of struggling, and their head coach is leaving the program. I think it's after the bowl game, so maybe they'll be motivated. They'll be pretty close. I mean, actually, they have Washington as the favorite, but I trust Boise can get the job done. We have App State versus UAB. UAB laid an egg in their championship game and looked just sad. And App State apparently can beat everyone except Georgia Southern ever, so they should beat UAB no problem. I don't know about 16.5, but they should win. The fact that some of these bowl games have spreads this big is kind of disappointing, honestly. You got UCF versus Marshall. The American is probably the strongest group of 5 conference out there, so I'm probably going to pick them most of the time with their matchups against other conferences. Group of 5 conferences, but yeah, I don't think Marshall can get it done. I'm going UCF. We should start with Brandon Wimbush, though. Then we got BYU, Hawaii. BYU is a solid team, man. They're a slight favorite. I mean, Hawaii's had their best year in a long time, but I'm going to pick BYU. I think they're slightly over. I mean, all time, they're a better program, and they probably got better athletes on their team. I'm going BYU. Although, hey, respect to Hawaii for being that good this year. It's pretty impressive. Louisiana Tech versus Miami. Louisiana Tech could get it done, I guess. I mean, they're getting more of the votes. Miami is over a touchdown favorite. You know what? I like rooting for underdogs, but in the pick'em case, I'm going to think Miami gets it done. You would hope that they should. If they can't, they got some real problems going on. I mean, they have real problems. They have even worse problems. Hopefully, that loss to FIU can, they'll keep it in focus and they won't get upset 2 times now. Pittsburgh, Eastern Michigan, I probably don't even have to think about it. That's Pittsburgh. That's a weird matchup. Why is it ACC MAC? That's not going to be close, is my guess. North Carolina, Temple. Temple's a good team, and I wouldn't sleep on them necessarily, but I think North Carolina is also better than what their record is. So I'm going to go ahead and pick North Carolina. Michigan State, Wake Forest. Wake Forest lost their best wide receiver, and I think was their quarterback too. And Michigan State's got a tough defense. I'm going Michigan State. That's pretty even with picks there. Texas Bowl, OK State, A&M. I think A&M's a pretty good team. I'm surprised that they're that big of a favorite to surprise me. But Oklahoma State, the last time I checked, they didn't have their quarterback or their top receiver. And if that's still the case, you got to go A&M. USC, Iowa should be an interesting game. USC kind of turned around at the end of the year again. They have a pattern, don't they? They lose 3 or 4 games and then look at it at the end. But either way, I'm going to go with Iowa and their defense. Air Force, Washington State. Cheez-It Bowl. Last year, the Cheez-It Bowl was very interesting. This one's actually tough because I didn't know Air Force. That might be the AP Bowl. I didn't think Air Force was ranked. Maybe they are. They're a good team, but I think Washington State's offense might be too much for them. Although they're... Sorry for that. You know what? I'm going Air Force. I don't know if Washington State's defense can handle the triple option. We're going to go... I wish Memphis would be able to keep it close, but losing their head coach to Florida State, and he said he won't coach the bowl game, that's going to hurt them. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Penn State here. I wish these coaches could at least coach the freaking team's bowl game before they leave. I get it they got to help recruit their new school, but it kind of sucks, man, especially for the players. We got the Camping World Bowl, Notre Dame, Iowa State. Notre Dame's actually a smaller favorite than I thought they'd be. Notre Dame's been playing great football as of late. They've been lights out the last 4 or 5 weeks. Basically they got spanked by Michigan, and then they haven't looked back. They've blown out everyone since. Iowa State's probably the best 7-5 team, maybe. So I expect it to be kind of tough, but yeah, you got to go Notre Dame there. Oklahoma, LSU. We're at the playoffs now. We're at the end. Oh, not at the end, actually. Why'd they put the playoffs in the middle of these? Oh, they play before them. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, we're going LSU. I don't think Oklahoma really has much of a chance. This game's the real tough one. Clemson, the defending champs, versus Iowa State. Not Iowa State, sorry. Ohio State's played a lot better this year than the team that got blown out by Clemson. I feel like they can probably get it done this time. Western Kentucky versus Western Michigan. It's an interesting game. Western Michigan, I haven't seen much of them at all this year. I know Western Kentucky started out rough, but have played some real good games as of late, including beating Arkansas. I'm going to go with the Hilltoppers in that one. Mississippi State and Louisville. You got SEC, middle of the road SEC school versus middle of the road ACC school. Based off how Louisville played versus Kentucky, I'm going to have to go with Mississippi State. They looked bad in that Kentucky game, and Kentucky's not a great team either this year. But Louisville is turning it around. Give them credit, especially that coach, Scott Scattersfield or whatever. He's doing a good job with the program, and I hope he continues his momentum. Okay, for fun, I'm going Illinois. Let's hope Lovie Smith can get it done, get a bowl win. It's impressive enough they made it. They just got to make sure they can keep building off that. Cal's a pretty tough team, though. They seem to finish 7-5 every year. We'll just see how it goes. Orange Bowl, Florida versus Virginia. This one won't be close, is my guess. Virginia, I'm surprised they're even ranked. They don't belong in the Orange Bowl, if you ask me, but stupid bowl tie-ins make it that way. I think Florida-Notre Dame would be a lot more fun of a game. I know Notre Dame has the ACC tie-in, but I guess it's not enough to be in the Orange Bowl, so Virginia gets it in a weak ACC year, so they don't stand a chance. Virginia Tech, Kentucky. Virginia Tech's a pretty good team this year. They blew that game against Virginia. They could have been in the ACC title game and honestly probably had the Orange Bowl in their lap, but they're playing in the Belk Bowl. Kentucky's a slight favorite. I'm going to go, based off how Kentucky played last week, it's kind of hard. I'm going to go Kentucky. Florida State, Arizona State. Florida State, I don't know is Norvell coaching that game? I honestly don't know. It's going to be interesting. I just think Arizona State can get it done. Kind of a disappointing year for Arizona State again. They had promised they were ranked at least twice and could beat Oregon, but they still lose 5 games. You just got to hope that's not a trend for why am I forgetting their coach? You guys know their coach. I can't remember his name now. I feel bad. Either way, we got Navy, Kansas State. I'm going to try to go a little faster, guys. I know Kansas State is a good team. Navy's pretty good, but when they played Notre Dame, they looked just outclassed. I'm going to go Kansas State this time. It's basically a pick 'em. Wyoming, Georgia State. I'm going to go with the Mountain West team. Wyoming, think they can get the job done. They got a tough defense. Utah, Texas. Gosh, I don't know because Texas is disappointed, but Utah kind of did too. They had no wins versus ranked teams, so their defense is good though, and if they could shut Texas down. I'm gonna give Utah the benefit of the doubt. You know, I mean, it's not a ranked team, so I guess it doesn't. They can beat them maybe. Michigan, Alabama. I really don't. Michigan just disappoints me too much to believe they can beat Alabama even with Mac Jones. I'm gonna go ahead and go Alabama there. Might be closer than I thought, but right now I'm thinking Alabama wins pretty big. Minnesota, Auburn. Minnesota kind of fizzled out at the end. Auburn's, I think, it started playing its best football late. I mean, all their losses were against very good teams. And Minnesota's good, but not very good, so hopefully they could get, I mean, they'll probably get the job done. I'm going Auburn. Oregon, Wisconsin. Wisconsin fought tough against Ohio State to start the game. I mean, if they can get Jonathan Taylor going, they have a real good chance to win this game. I'm going Wisconsin. Georgia, Baylor. Both teams are pretty beat up. If Baylor's still on their third-string quarterback, I think Georgia can win it, though. I'm not big on Georgia, though. I don't think they should be 5th ranked. I think that's a bit much, but hey, to each his own, I guess. Boston College, Cincinnati. Boston College just fired their head coach, so they have an interim, and Cincinnati's one of the better group of 5 teams. So I'm going Cincinnati there. Indiana, Tennessee. Indiana had its best year since like 1993, I believe. Tennessee bounced back from a horrible start, but I think Indiana can get the job done. Ohio, Nevada. I really don't know much about either team. I'll go with Nevada. Mountain West, I guess. Southern Miss versus Tulane. Tulane's an American. They're pretty much better than CUSA for the most part. Sorry if I'm offending anyone with these picks, but it's just the truth. Louisiana versus MAC. So you have the runner-up in the Sun Belt versus the champ in the MAC. Louisiana is a big favorite. Maybe they see something I don't, but I do think they're a good team this year. 10 wins it might be the first time ever. It might be the first time in a long time. I'm going to go ahead and give it to them. They've done a good job. My tiebreaker, the national championship team. LSU versus Ohio State. Oh, yikes, man. LSU's defense is playing better as of late, and I mean, Ohio State's defense has shown some weaknesses. I'm going to go, I know it's pretty boring to pick the number 1 team, but I'm going to go ahead and go LSU. Total score. Oh, that means between the two teams. I think it might be pretty high scoring. I don't really know. I'm not doing the math here. 40 each is too much. 30 each is fine. I'm going to go 60. And we'll submit it. I hope that means for both teams. Alright, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll just scroll through real quick so you can see my picks. Let me know what you guys think. Anywhere I'm wrong. If you agree with me, just let me know below. Thank you for watching. This is KMA Preston. Sorry, guys. Signing out. I'll see you later.